Most people struggle just to pronounce Nietzsche's name, and that alone keeps them distant. But Nietzsche believed that difficulty is often the gateway to truth. The mind that avoids discomfort avoids depth. His very name is a challenge, one that filters out the passive from the persistent. If you're still listening, you're already ahead of most. He's quoted more than almost any other philosopher, yet rarely understood. God is dead, he wrote, not to be edgy, but to declare a crisis. He saw the collapse of meaning in a world that pretended to believe in things it no longer truly followed. His words weren't empty slogans, they were intellectual earthquakes. Nietzsche's goal wasn't to comfort you with nice thoughts, it was to confront you with dangerous truths. He believed most people live as copies, recycling the ideas of others. Too afraid to think for themselves, he didn't want followers. He wanted you to wake up, tear off the mask, and face the world with naked eyes. Society to him was a prison for the mind, built by the weak to contain the strong. Schools, religions, and politics were all part of the same machinery. If you were intelligent, you didn't fight the system with noise. You simply stopped playing by its rules, walked away, and built a new path in silence. Nietzsche's own life was a storm of pain. Chronic illness, isolation, and mental collapse marked his journey. Yet through that suffering, he forged a philosophy that still cuts through time. He believed that suffering reveals, not destroys, the soul. The one who suffers consciously becomes unshakable. To Nietzsche, real power wasn't found in wealth or fame. It lived in self-mastery, the quiet ability to remain calm in chaos, to shape your thoughts rather than be shaped by them. The intelligent don't need to shout. Their presence alone disrupts illusions because they are anchored in something deeper. He despised herd morality, the belief that virtue means obedience. Nietzsche asked, "Who benefits when you blindly obey?" He believed you must break from second-hand ethics and carve out your own values, not because it's easy, but because truth never lives in borrowed ideas. In a world that rewards performance and punishes honesty, Nietzsche dared people to go inward. He knew that most never meet themselves because they're too busy acting. His philosophy stripped away all that was fake, urging the intelligent to live not for approval, but for alignment with their own nature. Become who you are. That wasn't advice, it was a command. It meant burning off the layers of imitation, the expectations of others, and the lies you tell yourself. Only by walking through fire could you emerge as something real. Identity wasn't found, it was forged. He hated self-pity. He believed life owed you nothing, and that's what made it beautiful. Responsibility, not blame, was his answer to suffering. You are not a victim of fate. You are the artist of your fate. And the intelligent do not seek excuses. They seek transformation. Nietzsche didn't want applause. He wanted truth. He knew that truth is often ugly, inconvenient, and brutal. But only by facing it could a person become strong. He believed in philosophy not as theory, but as a weapon, a way to cut through the fog and stand in clarity. This is the philosophy of silent dominance. No shouting, no proving, no approval seeking. Just depth, real depth. And in a shallow world, depth is power. The intelligent don't win by convincing others. They win by becoming something no one else can imitate, fully themselves. Nietzsche didn't just want people to be strong. He envisioned a new kind of human, the Übermensch, a being who rises above the noise, creates meaning from within, and dominates not by controlling others, but by transcending them entirely. The Übermensch doesn't beg for approval. He doesn't need applause. He's the one who walks a path that no one else sees, creating values where none exist. He is powerful, not because others fear him, but because nothing inside him is afraid. Most people are driven by guilt, tradition, and social reward, but Nietzsche taught that intelligence begins when you throw those chains off and ask, what if everything I've been told is a lie? That's when philosophy becomes dangerous and real. To Nietzsche, truth wasn't a fact handed down, it was a fire discovered. The silent ones aren't lost, they're listening, watching, judging reality for themselves. In their quiet, they are testing everything and accepting nothing without question. Nietzsche introduced the idea of the will to power, an inner force that doesn't just want survival, but wants expansion. It's the impulse to grow, dominate limitation, and become something greater than yesterday's self. The will to power isn't about control over others. It's mastery over your instincts, your reactions, your habits. The intelligent mind becomes a sculptor, shaping itself with precision. That's the real battlefield, internal, invisible, and silent. Nietzsche saw most morality as a strategy of the weak, rules that served comfort over courage. The intelligent break those rules, not through rebellion, but by becoming so complete that the old rules no longer apply to them. He dared to ask, what if there is no ultimate truth? What if life has no meaning until you create one? This was Nietzsche's terrifying freedom. You are not born with purpose. You must build it brick by brick, decision by decision. This idea terrified the masses, but empowered the few. Silence to Nietzsche was not weakness, it was independence. The ability to stand in the storm without flinching, to hear the noise of the world and still obey your inner voice. Nietzsche believed that people must pass through nihilism, the collapse of all meaning, before they can be reborn. The intelligent don't avoid the abyss, they stare into it, survive it, and come out unrecognizable to their former selves. True strength to him is not loud, it is subtle. It's the calm of someone who doesn't need to be understood, who walks with purpose even when alone. The intelligent dominate because they no longer chase power, they are power. This is Nietzsche's legacy, a call not to speak more, but to be more. In a world obsessed with noise, the silent few, the thinkers, the self-masters, the Übermenschen, walk among us, invisible, unstoppable, and free.